All right, Jack will come on.
Okay.
He has,
and he's not going to talk about your height.
Not going to talk about the height. All right, so bring on Jack, Molly. Welcome, Jack.
Hello.
Hello, Jack.
You have
start the clock.
Yeah,
Jack,
start the clock. Let's give him 7 minutes.
Clock.
This is what we got. Jack, remember, don't mention my height. Molly has the timer going. We're gonna have 5 minutes, and if you get through 5, we'll give you a bonus question. Here we go, and start the timer.
Okay, so there's 3 questions I have to ask just for my professor, so I'm just gonna get those out of the way. So first question is, what advice would you give to a film student just starting out?
I'll start. Paul is only 4 feet tall, so you want
God damn it! You shouldn't have brought that up.
Taller. You want to be taller than 4 feet in Hollywood because the camera. There's so many other actors. There's so many other actors that the discrepancy would be, jolting to most viewers.
It's called an apple box, and people could use an apple box.
Be tall. Be tall. That's my advice.
To a film student, I would say write something personal first, so you feel like you actually have a handle on it, and then maybe go. It doesn't have to be about your life, but it has to be something that you really personally connect with. Don't just try to copy something because you feel like you're following the popularity, of what's out there. That's what I would say.
Can I ask a question? Sorry, Jack. This is for a film class.
Yes.
Okay. My real answer: use the first one, but if they allow a second one, I don't know the rules. I would say try to make stuff with your friends. That's where Paul and I came from when we started doing Human Giant. It was just a total goof around with our friend Aziz and Jason, and it was just for fun. And then it became something else, and we got a TV show out of it. So my advice is to try to make stuff with your friends.
Yep. Okay. Find people who get you, and then continue to work with them. Okay. Next question. Question 2.
What are some self-care and stress management tips you have for someone starting out in this field?
You know what? You don't need self-care. Fucking work. Self-care when you get paid. Don't worry about self-care then. Hustle until you get paid.
Be on time. Be on time. Be on time. Show up. Be dependable. A lot of people don't know how to get to auditions. A lot of people don't know how to get to the set when they're shooting. Fucking GPS it the night before. Be on time. And be willing to do what other people won't do. Be prepared,
But I will also say this: 2 things. If something feels uncomfortable and you don't want to do it, don't do it. But that's not self-care. What I would say is you are the self-care tip. Oh my gosh. Don't look at anybody else's paper. Focus on your own stuff. Don't worry about who's getting ahead, who did this, who got that, who did this. Just focus on your own stuff. When you start to look at the world and compete with the world, just compete with yourself. That will help you.
Yeah. My last real thing, someone's quoting me in the thing, be prepared to do what other people won't do. That sounds bad. What I meant is a lot of people don't know their lines. They haven't thought about what they're going to do. I'm talking from an actor's perspective. I don't know what a director is doing to prepare, or what the grips are doing, or the lighting guys. But as far as, I don't know, as far as like self-care stuff, I don't think you'd worry about that at the beginning. Worry about that later.
Self-care is a weird term. Like I understand, like maybe like the idea of like, don't take notes from somebody that you don't respect or you don't think is looking out for the best interest of you.
Oh,
but that's
that's
self-care. Great. But that's like not self-care. That's like just how to work in the business. All right, next question.
Okay. What are some problems you faced when you first started out, and how did you navigate them?
I was bald as a young man, so I was forced to wear a hat. I think that really helped. A Human Giant never saw me without a hat or a wig. I feel like I really, that's a tricky one. That's
true. Some problems when you're first starting out. I think that one problem is that a lot of writing stuff that you read is not very good. Like people will send you stuff when you're just starting out that isn't that great, because the good stuff goes to the like famous people. So you might get stuff when you're starting out. Again, this is just as an actor. I don't know about directors and other stuff, but you get stuff that's not that great. So I think that you should be willing to say no to stuff. Like there's a big tendency when you're just starting out of like, oh, I should do everything. I should just take anything that comes my way. Some of it is crap and it's never going to see the light of day, especially now. So be willing to say no to crappy stuff and be willing to write your own stuff with your friends.
What was your question again, Jack?
Things that we had to overcome at the beginning.
Yeah.
I would say the other thing to overcome is don't worry about creating a career. Just create a first step. Make small steps. I feel like a lot of the times I talk to people and they're like, how do I get an agent and a manager? As if an agent and manager who signs somebody who has nothing on the table yet is going to pay any attention to you. Like that's a true statement. Like the idea like that, like you have to have somebody that gets invested in your talent and what you're good at. And that has to, I think, often come from something that you've done or produced or like, on some level. Like people have to come, like whether you do a great show, whether you're a great stand-up, whether you made a great short film, whatever it is, then you get people behind your team. I think people always want to shoot like 10 steps ahead. Just worry about like the next logical step. Don't worry about, oh, I don't want to do that because that's not like an Oscar movie. Just do the things that like can get you to the next step. Like I would say go slow, Serpico.
Okay. And I have, what made you specifically want to get into writing and performing comedy? Who or what are your comedic influences?
Is this a professor question?
This is a me question, actually.
All right.
Oh God, come on, Jack. You can do better. You can do
Up
so
the
much
questions.
better than this.
I
Come
do
on.
have others.
Yeah.
Pick
You
your
don't-
best question. Pick
You
your
don't
best
care.
question.
You don't care who we liked as comedians. Come on.
That's a bullshit question.
It's a bullshit question. This is a film school class question. Come on.
Like, what is that going to help anybody? Who we liked? Who do you
Who
like?
the fuck cares?
I do have, how has studying and practicing improv helped you guys as writers?
Good question.
That's a great question.
Okay. My real advice to anyone that's an actor is learn to improvise. And I'm not saying that we're great improvisers or anything, but learning to improvise, all that is writing. You are learning to write on your feet. You are writing a scene with someone else as you're doing it. It's something we all do every day. When you bump into a friend that you haven't seen at the coffee place, you're like, hey, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a long time. You're thinking, you're improvising. Oh shit, what else do I ask about? What else do I ask about? So it's something we do all the time, but learning to improvise helps your writing so much because it just kind of lets you see things in a different way. I think it just really opens up your brain. It's also really fun. So I think learning to improvise is like a big thing.
I would also say that everything that Rob said is true, but also the great thing about improv is it's disposable. You can be a little bit like, you can just toss it. It goes away. So I think when you approach writing or making something, you have a freedom to be like, oh, let's just try that. Let's just experiment. Like you don't get caught in your ways. And I think when you have that improv background of saying yes and, which is like that main tenet of improv, it's teaching you how to work well with your crew, with other people around you. Like you're saying, yes, I like what you're saying. Let me add to that instead of just no, but. And I think that that's a very important way, because all this business is collaboration on every level. And if you are constantly telling people that you're saying no to them, you're going to find yourself getting a smaller and smaller group of people who want to work with you because you're not letting their voice be heard.
Great answer. Can I add something to what Paul said? I assume when I get hired, and I know Paul thinks this probably also, that you want me to also improvise. So, every show has a written script. So you show up and you do that script. But I always, at this point, assume that you want me to come up with some of my own shit also to try to add to it, make it better so that when they're editing it, the movie, the TV show, when they're editing it, they have choices. Because the last thing you want when they're editing the movie is to only have what you wrote. That's all.
We're at 9 minutes. We did 9 minutes. 9 minutes. That's
Sorry.
All right. Last question, Jack. Last question. Quick one.
All right. Last question. How has producing shows on Twitch every week changed the way that you write comedy?
It hasn't.
Oh, that's a great question.
No, it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed.
We're just doing a lot. We're just doing a.
This is my opportunity to dick around with Paul. That's all.
We had a chance to do like a show, and we get to do it with a different audience,
and we make a fuckload of money.
Fuckload of money. You're out of here, Jack. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, Molly said cut. We're done.
People may think that we don't know him and that we were being rude. We know Jack. He lives in LA, and I think he's been on the show before. Yeah, he's
been on the show. He's been a good guy. But all right, so Rob, some other stuff. Let's Molly, do you have the you know what I found? Speaking about starting out, I found this. Check this out.
Are we going to reflect on his interview at all? How do you think we did?
I think we did great. No one's gonna have answers like that from real life filmmaker Rob Huebel and Paul Scheer.
But he wasn't writing it down. I mean,
he's gonna just clip this.
Oh, he'll watch this and then transcribe it.
Yeah.
But exactly. What do you think his professor will like us?